Good morning everyone and welcome to our weekly how-to video. My name is Lori McNorton, Floral Design Coordinator for Florist Review and Super Floral, and today I would like to share with you a simple arrangement. It's called a pave arrangement. We're going to use some red roses and a little bit of natural material. So let's get started. The pave arrangement is a low arrangement. Pave is a jewelry term when they set stones, and it's kind of incorporated into the floral design as well. So it's a low arrangement, and I have decided that red roses are going to be what we're going to use. Also, with the holidays being over, you may have a little bit of evergreen. So I'm going to mix in a little bit of evergreen that might be a little leftover, and then add some other greenery as well. And then we have a little bit of cut calancho that will give it a nice little bit more color than just the red roses. So what I've started with is just a square low container, and I've already put my oasis in there. It's been soaked. One little tip that I always suggest is when you have a container like this and you're putting foam in it, I always cut the edges. Just cut it off, which I've already done, but I wanted to show you a little bit more. What this does is when you go to add water, you or your customer, once they've taken it home, once you added water, the water will go down into the container instead of going flat over onto the surface like their table or something. So I just think that's always a good little tip. Again, you know, especially with Valentine's, this would be a great Valentine's arrangement because we're going to use the red roses. And you know, when you buy the red roses, you're buying stem length, and we're going to cut them all off. But this is just a nice, different arrangement. Maybe an idea for Valentine's. Have it in your cooler and see how it does. Okay, so let's get started here. I've got a dozen roses. I'm not sure that it's going to take a dozen, but what I want to do is I'm going to cut these off low enough that they're going to go down to the bottom of the container, of course. And I'm going to start in the middle because I have things to cover the edge if we don't quite go all the way. Make it with the roses. So all I'm doing is cutting them off and lining them up. This is going to kind of be a little bit of a petite arrangement, but it's definitely going to make it an impact, even though we've cut the roses off. Wouldn't this be sweet in like a box with a lid, and then you open it and you've got the roses in the pave? And you can do this with 6 roses, 4 roses, depending on the size of your container. It looks like we are doing 9. So we have our little square. I'm sure you can see it up above also. And then, like I said, we have the outer edge, and that's where I'm going to bring in some greenery. This is a very simple, easy to do arrangement. And as I said, we have a little bit of evergreen. So I thought, why not show you that you can mix? It is still winter. For some reason in the floral industry after Christmas, well, for one, we're tired of it, ready for something different. Same thing with all of our red and green. We go from Christmas to Valentine's, but this is why it's so fun to come up with different kind of arrangements, different styles and different ideas. All right, so I'm just kind of doing a collar of the evergreen. And I'm just basically covering the oasis around the edge. And normally we would do the edge first, but again, I wasn't sure how many roses it would take to make this pave, so that's why I left the edges to last. Also, I've got some reindeer moss here. Now I'm going to kind of go with a little bit more natural. There we go. Is that better? A little bit more natural look. So I've got some reindeer moss and some greening pins. And again, I'm going to cover this edge. I'm going to try and turn my arrangement so that I'm aware of how it looks. Sometimes with it being a video and I'm designing out this way, sometimes I don't see some of the mistakes I made, so bear with me on that. You can use Spanish moss, sheep moss. I just happen to have the natural reindeer moss, which I love the texture with the greenery. A little bit more here. It's funny because sometimes when I start this, I have an idea and I bring in other flowers and then I end up not using them, or I might add a touch here and there. Okay, got the reindeer moss all the way around the edge here. I've got some boxwood here. And we can add some in between here. We don't have to have it completely flat. Little dimension is nice. And the variations of the greenery just kind of give it that different textures and different feel. And I'm just cutting little pieces and tucking them in here and there. I've kept the pieces long enough that it goes far enough down into the oasis that it's going to last. And this arrangement would last quite a while. All right, and that. Maybe a ruscus leaf here and there. Like I said, we don't need a lot of materials, but the different greenery definitely adds to the dimension and the textures of the arrangement. Maybe one more back here. Okay, now we could leave it as simple as this. Very pretty, very simplistic. Or I've got some more natural materials that I would like to add in, like just a little piece of kiwi. Again, it doesn't have to be all one surface, but we can definitely add some dimension and a little bit more design here. So all I did was add a little piece of kiwi branch. I've got some moss balls. Apparently I didn't bring enough greening pins. Okay, well, we're just going to tuck it in here. I'll take a little bit of greenery and tuck that in, but we would definitely want to secure that. Okay, a little bit of texture there. If you wanted to bring in just another touch of flower, I thought about adding this beautiful cut kalanchoe. Completely different color than our reds, but it just gives it a completely different look. So I'm just going to add just a piece here and there. The cut kalanchoe is fairly new. It's perfect for detail work like this or corsage work coming up, wedding work. This is from Sun Valley. It's really now that helps to get rid of that strictly Christmas look. Adding all these natural materials. But you could do this with different colors, the different colored roses, the different colors, little flowers that you add in. I was going to add in a little mum. I don't think I want to because I love the orange and red and the browns, the brown branch and the greenery. But you could add little ribbon trim. Say if it was Valentine's, you wanted to do this for your customers for Valentine's, that would definitely, you could do pinks. I mean, you could do all color combinations. But this is just a really sweet arrangement. And there we have our pave arrangement. I hope you guys have a wonderful New Year's. Well, next time we'll see you, it'll be 2018. We're looking forward to what's new at Florist Review in the upcoming year. And we wish the same for you. Until next week, thank you and have a wonderful day.